So I'm going to be going to install a Spec-D catback exhaust system along with a test pipe on my 1995 Acura Integra. These Spec-D systems can commonly be found on eBay or Amazon. As a matter of fact, I bought mine on Amazon just because I wanted to see the reviews that Amazon had, and I just got that one right there. The Spec-D system is all mandrel bent. It's stainless steel. It's 2.5-inch diameter, and it comes with a removable silencer. And the test pipe is just a standard test pipe. If you don't know already, test pipes replace your catalytic converter with just a straight through pipe. They're a bolt-in little thing. You can swap your catalytic converter on and off for racetrack use. My original exhaust system was junk. I took it off when I replaced the clutch recently in my car, and it had just had bad welds. It was leaking. It looked bad. It was rusty. You name it, a whole litany of issues with it. So I went ahead and ponied up the $114 plus free shipping for the exhaust system and the $32 for the test pipe. I also bought some spring bolts that connect right into the exhaust manifold. It's kind of similar to what some cars have as a flex pipe, but instead it's like a ball and socket type of fitting with bolts with springs on them that allow the exhaust to move around with the engine without breaking the pipe. Those were $10, and then I bought a couple more rubber hangers because my original exhaust was missing 2 of them, and those were $7 each, like I said, from my local parts store. So in this clip, I don't have an exhaust in the car at all. It sounds really, really loud, and it sounds like a tractor. It's pretty horrible, as a matter of fact. So to get this job done, you got to have the whole car off the ground. The front wheels are fine to be on ramps, but the back you really got to have up in the air on jack stands because the suspension needs to hang down as far as possible to be able to fit the exhaust over the rear suspension into place. And as you can see, I'm not in a shop. I don't have a lift or anything like that. I'm laying in the grass and the dirt on my back. So if I can do it in these conditions, I can think of very few situations where you couldn't put this exhaust on. So in this first part of the clip, I'm going to go ahead and start the car up with the silencer installed so you can hear how quiet or how loud, I guess it is. With that, it is definitely louder than a stock Integra, even with the silencer in place. And now here it is with the silencer out. Alright, the exhaust is in. Wasn't too bad. Took me a little bit over an hour with minimal setbacks. Just a couple of tips if you're doing this yourself. Start with the muffler first. I didn't do that. I started at the manifold, thinking that's the best way to do it, but no. So I ended up having the exhaust out twice when I did it, because really the muffler has to fit into its spot first, and then the next section goes in, because otherwise the end of the muffler, when it goes up over the rear suspension, is going to hit the hanger for the midsection of it. So if I were to do it again, I would just hang everything in there, starting with the muffler loosely with the bolts just threaded on, but you know, so you can move it around. I'd get it all into the place and get the fitment I want. Then after it was all kind of, you know, just kind of mocked into place, I'd go through and just snug down all the bolts, tighten them properly, and that would be the way to do it in one try. The exhaust sounds good, it looks good, it's great quality, especially for the low price tag on it. I would definitely buy it again if I needed another exhaust for another Integra, or you know, I would say that that speaks pretty good for the company. I'd buy, you know, their products on other cars. I would guess they would probably be similar quality to this one. It's not too loud. It sounds good. I don't have a catalytic converter, like I said before. I have a test pipe, so that removed the catalytic converter, and so my experience might differ a little bit from yours. This system does have a full resonator in it, but even with that resonator in there, it is a little bit drony if you're in third gear cruising around. I didn't get a chance to get it on the highway, get it in the fifth gear, see how it sounded there. And I didn't get a chance to make a video in the car because in my initial little drive around the block, just to make sure everything was good, wasn't gonna leak or anything like that, the car started smoking excessively. It was smoking a little bit before, possibly due to the oil seals and the valve seals, or whatever you want to call them, or because it's running rich. I kind of suspect it might be running really rich or have a leaking injector, because the exhaust was completely black on the inside after the short 3-mile little jaunt I took. But it was smoking so bad, I looked underneath the car and it was just soaked with oil. And it's not coming from anywhere on the engine, it's actually coming from the transmission. Transmission in my car takes and has 10W30, so same thing as motor oil, but it's coming out of the transmission somewhere around the differential on the transmission. So definitely plan to get that fixed. Shouldn't be too bad, but I definitely plan to get that fixed in the next video that I make. So if you liked this video, please feel free to subscribe for more. Give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, comments, tell me what you think I can improve on. I haven't made very many YouTube videos, so still a little new at this, so definitely any pointers would be helpful. And yeah, hope to see you guys again.